At the very start of the PS5 generation, the lovable Sackboy made his big return in style. We are no strangers to LBP games here on the channel, so I'll save you the origin story. But before the game dropped, we hadn't seen him since 2014's LittleBigPlanet 3, simultaneously released on the aging PS3 and the shinier, already 1 year old PS4. So if you're pulling out the abacus like myself, and counting the years, that's a 7-year gap between LittleBigPlanet games. And what ended up being released wasn't exactly a traditional LBP game at all. Sackboy A Big Adventure is a 3D platformer, instead more in the vein of Super Mario 3D World or other isometric 3D platformers. It's also a spin-off game that doesn't feature the create or share parts of the play, create, share mantra. It's its own separate thing, again helmed by Sumo Digital, who made LBP 3. And while it's my least favorite game in the overarching series, it's still pretty good. It's cute, colorful, and gorgeous to look at, especially with the different materials used like felt, wool, and much more. As much as I think Mario 3D World was an influence, I also think the stronger one is Yoshi's Woolly and Crafted World games, right down to the Flutter Jump. Sackboy is also challenging when it comes to some of the later levels and the overall Platinum Trophy as well, but that's to be expected from these games. The Platinum Trophy run has all the things you already done in other 3 games like Aces, Prize Bubbles, and multiplayer trophies. It's just now in 3D space instead of that layered 2.5D. However, the game has some new things that made me think long and hard about where I should place this Platinum Trophy run difficulty-wise. As we flutter jump, roll, and emote through this trophy guide, we will see why that one vexed trophy and a few others are stopping people from getting the Big Adventurer Platinum Trophy. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we take a look at everything it takes to get the Platinum Trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. After you watch this video, I've got LBP 1, LBP 2, and LBP 3 already on the channel as we are closing out our coverage of LBP games here on Platinum Hunters. Check those videos out when you get a chance, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Platinum Trophy videos just like this one. You might just find your next Platinum Trophy. There's a lot to do in this Ripsnorting adventure, and also a ton of trophies to grab in various places. The Platinum Run boils down to completing the story to the end, going back to collect the multiplayer-centric trophies if you weren't already playing with a buddy, getting enough gold ranks and aces, finishing up any endgame content that this game offers, and then taking on all the knitted night time trials. There's a bunch of miscellaneous trophies thrown in there for good measure, plus there are a few trophies related to Sackboy's many disguises and outfits. The majority of the run towards the Big Adventurer Platinum Trophy is not hard at all. The game doesn't require you to collect all the aces, prize bubbles, gold ranks, or dreamer orbs, which could have made the game much harder. However, there is one trophy in this game that is far more difficult than the rest, and will certainly ask you if you really want the plat. It's inside the knitted night time trials, and hopefully by the time you watch that section, you will have an answer to that question. If we are ready to hop in, just remember that I have posted a ton of helpful guides in the description below to assist you. Good place to start this trophy guide is by messing with Vex's plans. There are 8 story-related trophies that are unmissable, ending with the trophy Verified Vex Vanquisher for defeating the last boss. Some other ways you can mess with Vex and his plans is by taking out his minions. The best part about that is you will be rewarded with trophies too. The easiest way to do that is bouncing on their head and getting the Bounder trophy in the process. Just jump on 30 enemies' heads plumber style. Or you could stun them for the aptly named Stunner Trophy. Roll into 30 enemies to stun them and get this trophy. My fave way to get rid of the enemies is tossing them off a cliff. Call me cruel, yes, but screw these little creeps. For the out of bounds trophy, you need to throw 30 enemies into the void. First roll into them to stun them, then grab them and toss them off the nearest cliff side. The trophy Pop in Lobber is a little more situational, as you need to take out 30 enemies from a distance. Wait till you get to any level with the whirl tool, and then it will make it easy to throw it at them from a distance. The level Highs and Glows is a perfect level to farm this particular trophy, as it gives you the whirl tool. There is also a trophy in that particular level Highs and Glows called Cut It Out, where you have to beat the level, without using the whirl tool? Don't you need it to hit these jellyfish? Oh, you can just flutter jump on top of them to get across. This trophy is definitely doable, it just makes it a little bit harder than normally playing it with the whirl tool. You are allowed to die, so don't worry about that. Just make sure you make it to the end without picking up the whirl tool and losing all your lives. Another level specific trophy is called B for holding onto a Boomble Beehive for 60 seconds. When you find one in a level, grab it and get ready to run around because you are gonna get straight up attacked by these bees. There's no way to fight back, so you need to make sure you don't drop it. Having a blast is a good level to get this trophy, but there's plenty of opportunities in some other levels to get this trophy. As you are skipping and hopping around, you will work towards the Bubble Binger trophy, activating and finishing these bubble chains 30 times. They are in every level and you will finish this trophy quick. Same situation with the Slide Away trophy. You will need an cumulative score of 3,000 points from bubbles while sliding. You will get the trophy automatically by the time you reach the third world. A cool and easy trophy is Gymnastic Fantastic, where you will need to string together 4 of Sackboy's movement options together while you are in the air. So wait until you are high up, double jump with the X button, and then press any combination of square, circle, or triangle. As long as you have 4 actions before you land, you will pop the trophy. With the next 2 trophies, you will have to venture to several different levels to find what you are looking for. Let's start with the Naturalist trophy, where you have to find all of Gerald's secret spots. Gerald is hiding out in 9 levels, which I will pop on screen right now. This guy is just chilling in these off the beaten path spots, and you will need to find all of them. I'll include a video with how to find all the spots in the description below. As well, there are 8 levels that have special objects to find for the Player's Player trophy. You can find any one of an umbrella, paintbrush, or even a fish hidden inside these 8 levels on screen now, and you will need to pick it up for it to count towards this trophy. Another video is dedicated to this trophy in the same spot in the description below. Okay, let's check out this man's drip right here and what he can wear and the trophies you get for it. As you continue your journey, you're going to unlock some cool costume pieces and bank a fat stack of collectibles that you can use to buy stuff. When you have enough costume pieces to fully suit Sackboy, you can get the Icon of Style trophy by outfitting Sackboy with your own custom-made costume. Once you save it and use it later, the trophy will pop. You can also customize your own emote, and that will get you the Thespian trophy. Just choose an emote and a face expression and equip it. Both of these trophies can be done inside your wardrobe in Zamzam Shop. There's also the Fashionista trophy for completing a full costume with matching pieces. The easiest way to do this is to just buy one from Zamzam Shop. You can buy a full costume using the collectibles you earn. Now for the Walk-In Wardrobe trophy, you will need to accumulate 300 costume pieces across the ones you are awarded in levels and the ones you purchase from Zamzam Shop using collectibles. The trophy is definitely going to take some time to do and might be one of the last few trophies you will need to get. You will collect a bunch of collectibles when you play through the levels, but it's very important that you complete Zamzam's mini games when they appear in the hub world. They are inside the magic lamp that appears on the map, and will greatly speed up your collection process by giving you a ton of collectibles each time you run it. Then just offload them on some full costumes or individual pieces. When you have 300, the trophy will be yours. Thanks for shopping. Cruising through all the levels, you will be aiming to get gold ranks on most of the levels. Your first gold rank will get you the Master of One trophy after you claim it at the scoreboard found at the very end of the level. To do this, you just need to score enough points by collecting bubbles and defeating enemies. Eventually, you will get the Multi-Master trophy when you get 10 gold ranks, and then you will be working towards the grand prize trophy called Golden Boy, which will require you to get gold rankings on 50 levels. That's a lot more than 10, and the levels start to get harder as you go. But thankfully, there are more than 50 levels in the game, so there's plenty of opportunities to pick and choose which ones you want to do. As well, the rankings you get from the teamwork levels and the knitted night trials count towards your overall gold ranking. We will talk more about those two types of levels in due time. But one of the golds has to be in a remix level for the Remix Master trophy. And these levels are some of the very best in the game, and they are levels that are synchronized to some incredible music tracks. David Bowie's Let's Dance, Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk, Britney Spears' Toxic, the list goes on, and they're all incredible songs that I can't play in this video because the copyright system is broken and rancid garbage. These levels are fire though, just saying. In general, this game has an incredible soundtrack. Now, it wouldn't be a LittleBigPlanet series game if we didn't have some aces to get. The Amazing Ace trophy can be yours if you can finish 30 levels without dying, which is honestly pretty simple in this game. Other LBP games want you to get them all, so the fact that you can pick and choose this time is great. Getting 30 is not hard if you stick to the easier levels found at the beginning of the game. Just run through the main path, ignoring the side routes that are often more perilous. Lastly, you will need to collect all of the prize bubbles found in a single world for the Book of Dreams trophy. Just one world, not all of them, so go for the first world. This will include the main path levels, the teamwork levels, and the secret levels that you have to access from a later part of the hub world. Once you collect all of the prize bubbles that are found inside these levels and given to you at the scoreboard screen, the trophy is yours. Now that's most of the single player stuff out of the way, so it's time to talk about all the multiplayer trophies, something that is a series staple even when they do it in the spin-off games. But something interesting happened to this game. If you were playing the game day one, you probably remember how this game was released without its online mode at launch. It was still coming, but it was delayed until a December 17, 2020 update. That, however, meant that the Platinum Trophy run had to be made in such a way that you could collect all the trophies offline. Therefore, you can grab all of these trophies we are about to cover using a second controller. Marvelous! And that's what I ended up doing in an unorthodox way. I first tried to use the online mode, but I only ever got it to work twice. Yep, just like LittleBigPlanet 3, the online is broken. That sucks. So I then bought a second DualSense and got my girlfriend to play with me as my player too, but she wasn't really feeling this game. I respect that. Then I came up with a genius, maybe clunky way to get all of these trophies. I spawned in the second Sackboy and just carried him around the places I needed to go. It was as if I was playing the single player with one more person and getting the trophies, for the most part. Yeah, some of the levels are incompletable to play unless you have two people playing them, because you have to grab stuff at the same time, but I steered clear of them. For all of these trophies that I will unveil now, I completed them in this weird method. If you have a buddy on hand, just play it that way, but use this as a last resort. Let's start with some high fives and getting the Up High trophy. All you have to do here is have both Sack players use the high five emote at the same time to initiate the gesture. However, the emote is not one of the default ones. First, both players need to complete the team level Wait For Me, getting at least a silver rank when you finish it. Then head to Zamzam's shop and purchase the emote. Completing your first tag team level will also get you the fun Multiply trophy. You can get this trophy on any of the teamwork levels that have the signpost that says 2 sack people in the hub world. Next tag team trophy is Let's Twist Again. And here all you will have to do is the exact same thing with a dancing emote. This is one of the default emotes, so no need to go looking for it. Just make sure you have it equipped on both sack people, which you can do from the wardrobe in Zomzom's shop. From high-fiving to dancing and now to slapping, get the slap attack trophy by having both sack players use their slap attack on each other at the same time. Might take a few tries and a few countdowns to get it right, but the trophy will pop when you both hit the floor. Okay, that's enough monkeying around. Let's beat some of these levels and get some trophies. There are a few trophies I completed all at the same time by grinding them out at the very first level. The first one is Buddy Beater, for finishing any level with more points than the other player 20 times. A little bit of friendly competition, I see. Just make sure the player who's going for the trophy ends the level with more points. There's also the Capitalist trophy, for finishing a level with more collectibles than the other player 20 times. Same as the Buddy Beater trophy, just with more collectibles instead of points. You can grind these 2 trophies on level 1 as the fastest way to get rid of both of them. There's no requirement saying that it needs to be 20 different levels. However, if you're going for the Best Friends trophy for collecting 10 aces in multiplayer, they will have to be 10 different levels. If you're playing the game the way I played it by carrying player 2, just make sure you can finish the level with 2 hands. And these damn DualSense controllers are big, hefty boys. You don't have to worry about this if you're actually playing with 2 players. Just make sure both of you make it to the very end without dying ever. When you do make it to the end where the scoreboard screen is, there's 2 trophies you could get. When you are partying out on the scoreboard screen, you can get the Sore Winner trophy by taking that shiny trophy and bashing it over the other player's head. Assert your dominance and get that trophy, but it also goes both ways. You can get the Stop Thief trophy as the losing player while the winner is celebrating, and you can bum rush them and steal the trophy. Don't forget about the Savior trophy while juggling all of these multiplayer activities. For this one, you will need to expend all of your extra lives, then player 2 will need to die, making it so he can't come back. Then player 1 needs to rush over to a checkpoint and revive player 2, and then the trophy will pop. Just make sure as player 1 you don't pick up any life coins along the way, because you need there to be 0 extra lives when you hit that checkpoint. You should be all warmed up at this point and ready to tackle the Best Friends Forever trophy, where you will need to take on the last boss level, the Topsy-Turver, together. I thought about it and I don't want to spoil this excellent level for you guys, but just know that you and your pal will need to make it through the level without getting a game over. Trust me, this level and the one before it are absolutely worth it. And our last multiplayer-centric trophy is called Beast of Burden and has to do with the Knitted Night Trials. For this one, you will need to cross the finish line of a Knitted Night Trial holding one of your sack pals and get a gold ranking to boot. Here you can either carry your buddy through the whole trial like I did, or you can pick him up at the very last minute, then cross the finish line. This is a perfect segue to the Knitted Night Trial trophies. One of them being the most vicious time trial I have ever done in a video game. But if you made it this far into the video, let me know you are here by dropping a like on the video. Not only does it help my small ass channel be seen here on this great YouTube wonder plane, but it also helps me see how many trophy hunters are out there. But now let's get back into the Knitted Night Trials and take this guide home. As you adventure out into all the levels, some of them have this weird golden Rubik's Cube thing called Knight's Energy. To collect that will unlock a new time trial to beat called a Knitted Night Trial. You will get the first one as part of the story, but then you will need to find the other 14 cubes to unlock the rest of the time trials. Once you have unlocked them all, you will at least need to complete them to the finish line. One of those 15 trials will need to be beaten at gold tier in order to unlock the trophy Knights of Gold. I would personally recommend you beat all of them to gold tier to collect the Dreamer Orbs. But once you complete all 15 time trials, you will be granted access to the 16th time trial called the Ripsnorter. This is where things get crazy. This trial has kind of become infamous amongst the LBP community, but if you haven't heard about it yet, essentially you will have to run through all 15 time trials in one go. Yes, one run through. This is quite the challenge, and to make matters worse, there is a trophy associated with this trial. The trophy is called String It Together, which not only tasks you with completing the time trial, but also getting a gold level ranking for it. That means you have 10 minutes to beat all 15 knitted night trials. Yikes. This has been one of the most difficult time trials I have done in a very long time, and it walled me from obtaining the Platinum Trophy for quite some time since the game came out. I don't post my trophy guide videos without having the Platinum Trophy because I wouldn't tell you to do something that I haven't done myself. So this video has been delayed for a long time with stops and starts on trying to get this one damn trophy. What makes this hard is the fact that you can only take 2 hits the whole time you are running it, and time is of the essence, so you will be rolling through some of these hazards, which greatly increases the danger factor. In comparison to time trials in other games like Crash 3 Warped, sure, you will have to gun it to the end of the level, but those runs last anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes at a time. This trial is at least 10 minutes long, and there are a lot of things that could go wrong in 10 minutes. Imagine getting to the last few trials and then dying. That's frustrating, despite the fact that you have seen all of these trials before, but in the moment it's easier said than done. This took a tremendous amount of practice to be able to beat it. This one time trial felt like it was tougher than most of the time trials in Crash 3 or even the aces in LittleBigPlanet 3. But let's break down the run so I can help you save some time and best this beastly run. You will get well acquainted with the first 3 time trials with the rolling yetis, shifting spike rollers, and the spinning platforms, considering how many times you're going to die and play these parts. You'll run them a ton of times and get good at maneuvering around these obstacles. Roll when it is safe to do so, like when you have these long stretches of walkway. Also, trust in your platforming abilities, as Sackboy can get some considerable distance with his jump, flutter, and air dash combo, especially using it with the momentum of your roll. As a quick tip, if a time clock is not in your route or not right beside you, don't bother grabbing it, as in the grand scheme of things, these won't help you as much with the final score. The 4th time trial is also pretty breezy and will allow you to do some really cool skips. Trust in your jump combo and you will be able to skip most of the naturally intended paths. With the 5th and 6th trials, roll when you have open stretches, but do take your time through here. The 5th trial has these rotating platforms where you will get used to the patterns and timing after a few runs of it. The 6th trial has these bounce pads that will help you clear these shark-looking enemies. Don't get overzealous in an attempt to save more time, because in the grand scheme of the run, it's not going to help you. Just focus on safe traversal. That's more important. The 7th and 8th trials are the ones that will rack up a sizable kill count and often prevented me from advancing forward to the end. The 7th trial has these damn crabs that move back and forth and will, in most cases, bump you right off the pathway. Here you need to slow it right down to a crawl and wait for these crabs to make their move. Speeding through this section will often just result in disaster. If you try to find shortcuts and skips, by the time you make it to that platform, the crab is there to greet you. So just take this part way slower than all the others. The 8th trial is going to play games with your mind with the way these jellyfish mess with the pathways. They leave voids in the yellow brick road and highlight the invisible purple paths. So traversing through this section is super tricky, with pathways in front of you disappearing and reappearing. Remember that for this section right here, The platforms are not moving by themselves, they are being highlighted. So don't stop when you land on them. Move with them and jump immediately to the next one at the next opportunity you have. After that, the 9th and 10th trials are nowhere near as difficult, and you can sprint through them as long as you are careful. Through the trial with the spikes, you're going to want to time your jumps so you safely land in the middle of the spike pit. That way you can immediately jump off to safer ground and out of harm's way. Through the longer spike sections, just flutter jump over them, or if they're coming from behind you, you can just dash or roll to stay ahead of the spike wave. The 10th time trial is all down to timing your jumps and movements, and you are pretty safe most of the time so long as your basic movement skills are solid. The 11th trial is another one where you should slow it right down. I know you are going to feel like you're wasting time waiting for these platforms to show up, but it's way better to make it safely than it is to risk dying trying to skip ahead. Trust me, you can take your time here, and it will make more sense near the end of the run. Don't take the next 3 trials lightly, but if your movement basics are solid and you haven't been hit yet, these next ones can be traversed with a bit of ease. Having the extra hit just in case you get spiked, lasered, or torched is very helpful in case you make a mistake. But because you are more likely to repeat the trials that are front loaded in this challenge, you probably won't have as much practice with these later challenges when you get here. If you're struggling with these, get some practice in by playing these trials separately in the trials menu. Okay, now that you have reached trial 15, you can breathe a sigh of relief. The hardest part of the trial is over, and as long as you don't fall off the path, you have bested this beastly challenge. In this trial, you just have to jump across and make it to the end goal. The cool thing is that there are tons and tons of time clocks in this section. I reached this part of the run with more than 10 minutes on my time already, but it didn't matter. I could just grab a bunch of these time clocks and it brought my time way down. It's almost like the thing that matters is just making it to the very last trial, and you can totally take your time through the other parts of the run. You don't want to take too much time, but there are honestly so many time clocks in this section to drastically bring down your time. Grab a bunch of them, be careful with the platforms that require motion controls, and then run through the gate like a Tokyo Olympics athlete to grab the gold medal and finally get the String It Together trophy. This will most likely be the final challenge, stopping you and many players from getting the platinum trophy. But here in this guide, I have purposely left out one trophy because it is a pleasant surprise in the endgame after you defeat Vex and his Topsy-Turver. If you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest clicking over to the Platinum Trophy timecode in the description. Now that we have spoiler warnings out of the way, we are continuing in 3, 2, 1. After you defeat Vex the final time, you will unlock one more world called the Wonder Plane. In order to get the last trophy called Wonder Plane Workout, you will need to complete all the levels in this world and then beat the final level called Little Big Finale. This really reminds me of Super Mario Odyssey with the final world in that game. The levels are quite good and you will enjoy them, but in order to play them, you will need to up your Dreamer Orb count. For the Little Big Finale, you will need 275 Dreamer Orbs just to play it. Just like the other trophies, that is not all 100% of them, and there are actually a total of 328 Dreamer Orbs in the game. So you can mix and match and skip the more difficult ones to get. Plus you will get a bunch of them from the Knitted Night Trials and Teamwork levels. So once you unlock the level, just beat it and you will pop the Wonder Plane Workout Trophy. That will be the last trophy you need for this guide and the Platinum Trophy run. This certainly was a big adventure after all. Despite me saying it's my least favorite in the series, the quality of these titles are just so damn high that you are ultimately going to have a good time no matter which one you play. Sackboy A Big Adventure is no exception, and if you have followed this guide and collected all the trophies, including that damn String It Together trophy, congratulations! you will rightfully earn and be awarded the Big Adventure Platinum Trophy for Sackboy A Big Adventure. At the time of recording this video, there are no DLC or add-on trophy sets added to the game, and it has been a total of 9 months since the game was released. There has been DLC content in the form of Knitted Night Trial tournaments, but nothing pertaining to trophies. I think it's pretty safe to say that there won't be any DLC expansions with trophies, but if there are, I will add an update in the description and maybe even cover it in its own video. Overall, Sackboy's Platinum is a chill, less demanding trophy run with one nerve-taxing and very demanding trophy in it. The dividing line between the people who have and the people who have not gotten the plat is the String It Together trophy. The main campaign can be challenging at times, but it doesn't require you to collect 100% of every collectible, and the multiplayer stuff can be done online, granted you get it to work, offline, using the share play feature, or heck, even by yourself with 2 controllers like I ended up doing. There's a little bit of grinding to get enough costume pieces, but all of this stuff is not hard to do. It's just that damn Ripsnorter Knitted Night Trial that is going to be a struggle. I can recommend this game to everyone, especially if you like 3D platformers, but as far as the Platinum Trophy run, if you ain't ready to dig deep for that time trial, I don't think you should go for the Platinum Trophy. There are people who don't like time trials out there, and I don't blame you. Somehow these damn things find me, and we've covered a bunch of the games already here on Platinum Hunters. However, if you are someone willing to take on the challenge, I hope this trophy guide finds you well, and I hope it helps you get the plat. And with that, we have covered all of the LBP games here on the channel. This is the series that sparked the idea for Platinum Hunters because I wanted to help more people get the LBP 1 Platinum Trophy. I have a feeling this won't be the last time we cover the series, but for now, it has been an absolute pleasure adventuring through each colorful and unique game, echoing the play, create, share mantra. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That's 4 LBP games done and banked inside of Platinum Hunters. Let me know down in the comment section if you like this video, and if you haven't checked out the others, they're already on the channel. Go for it, get those plats. To me, it's important to clear a series as well as just individual plats. I'm trying to do so with other series that I like Ratchet & Clank and Crash Bandicoot, and a bunch of other ones that maybe we might cover on the channel as well. So stick around. You never know what other things are gonna come and be uploaded on the channel. Subscribe if you want more. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have great trophy hunting expeditions, and peace out.